Alright, what is up, guys? My name is Sean Daniel. Obviously, you guys have been following me here from the YouTube channel that I posted about here, and I did promise on the intro video that we were going to do pro wrestling, and well, here we are now. And now our first review is WWE Clash of Champions, and I'm not just doing this alone right now. I also got I think he should introduce himself.
Yeah, yeah.
For quite a while, you kind of convinced me to do a YouTube channel, which obviously we have now. It took
It
it
took
took
two. It took 2 years and a pandemic.
but I mean, hey, I mean, it's better late than never. And I know for times you wanted me to talk about doing a podcast with you, and I honestly never thought that we'd be doing it with wrestling. And but here we are now.
Yeah. The quality isn't as good as we could make it. This is just something we want to do. Obviously, there is an annoyance I feel internally because I'm like, dang, this could be better, but it's like, well, let's just get this out the way, and then next time we do it, it'll be better quality, and we just learn from it, just like the editing. So Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Lucha House Party. Can you explain that to me?
First off, why the heck are Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro champions when they should be obviously world champions? I will never understand that, but apparently that's what Vince wants. I really thought that this was not really an important match, to be honest. I mean, they haven't really built up Lucha House Party to be a worthy contender for the championships, and honestly, Vince doesn't really he really doesn't care about this match at all. I was basically bored. There were obviously times where Lucha House Party was gaining momentum, but you knew obviously they were not going to win. They haven't really built up this team to win the championship or anything like that. It's basically just a throwaway match.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
sorry,
what I was gonna say, they're actually they're better together. Lucha House Party. They're first of all, it was a good match. It was a good match. The storyline made me sad because, like, okay, they're doing a Lucha House Party, breakup tease, and I guess something else. But I was so devastated by the fact Cesaro was was in a tag team match. He's good. He's great. He's the Swiss
so it's a Swift
Superman, the Swiss
Superman.
Superman, pound for pound, the strongest wrestler on the roster. And this is what he's doing. And even same thing for Shinsuke, although he's not even trying these days. He's just in it for the money. Um,
Unfortunately.
yeah, but Cesaro, man, he could be great. And then they're gonna break up Lucha House Party, and that's not a good thing because they're better together. They break them up, you're never gonna see them again, basically.
Yeah, because that's a weird thing. Because Vince McMahon, the way how he treats tag team is that he sees it like as a development to turn someone into a tag team and then eventually split them off and make them into solo wrestlers. But a team like Lucha House Party is not something that I could see of them going on their own solo adventures.
Yeah.
And
What would you give the match? What would you rank it?
I would honestly. It was boring at first, but then eventually the match just started to pick up. There was only one thing that surprised me was when Cesaro was gonna powerbomb one of the members from the Lucha House Party, and it got reversed into a Canadian Destroyer. I'm a sucker for a Canadian Destroyer. I just love that move. But honestly, I would just give it a 5 out of 10. I don't know how you would rank it.
Um, I would give it a five. I'm going by fives. 3 out of 5. Five out.
Oh,
Yeah, 50%. It was good. It was fine. Good wrestling. I like the wrestlers, but the storyline, it was just depressing. It made me depressed for 2 hours looking at Cesaro in that situation. All right, the next match, the ladder match, right?
yeah, the ladder match between AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship. This was actually one of the two matches I was actually looking forward to for the entire pay per view.
Yeah, I loved everything about this match. I think it was great. I like this. I like the storyline. I like the everything building up to it. From what I've saw from the video package, because I don't watch the show. I'm barely getting back into it, like starting on Clash of Champions. I like the GoPro thing that they had. Um, I think it was great. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think it was if it would have been match of the night if it wasn't for the last two matches that we had. But the ladders were being used well and creatively. Everyone got their own moment to shine. It was great. It was a great story, great match, great chemistry, and a great
Yeah.
finish.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying that I was really surprised that this was the first match, but then again, if you want to capture the audience's attention, then start with the ladder match. Because when I first saw the pay-per-view go up, I was like, "Oh, they're doing a ladder match." I was like, what a way to start off the show. And this was actually the time where I didn't actually know who was going to win, and that was probably the best part.
Yeah, same. I had no idea the way they were playing it out. It was great, man. It was great. I think Sami Zayn should have been a bit more aggressive because his belief was that he never lost the title, so he wasn't aggressive really until he kind of took out the handcuffs a bit before that. But in the beginning, he should have taken over the match.
Although I mean, they obviously put the. What did Sammy do? What did Sammy do? He put the handcuff around Jeff's ear. Obviously, they apparently WWE likes messing with Jeff's ear a lot. I really don't know why, because they first did that with Randy Orton, where he's jabbing his finger in his ear and yanking it, or putting a screwdriver, and now here he is, putting the handcuff through his ear and attaching it through the ladder. And I'm like, okay, this is different, but I'm like, for God's sakes, just leave Jeff's ear alone.
I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Or
So
what, I don't know, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I really like the match. That I think that's gonna be a match of the year candidate. It was really fantastic from beginning to end.
it's not the greatest ladder match that I've ever seen, but it was just a decent one.
I don't believe it was decent. I believe it was pretty damn great.
Yeah, and I'm just glad that Semi won.
Yeah, same.
All
Okay,
right, so let's get on to.
Asuka versus Selena Vega.
Actually, no, 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 not that one just yet, because unfortunately, I think you kind of forgot that this still exists. We still have the 24 damn 7 title match between Arts and. I'm just gonna give this just real quick. I'm just giving it a 0. Like there was nothing
Zero.
that I loved it about it.
Asuka versus Zelina Vega.
Yeah, this was originally supposed to be on the kickoff show.
Yeah, yeah, and you mentioned that to me. Whenever you mentioned it, you sounded disappointed, and I was just as disappointed hearing you.
Very disappointed. Like I thought that was just pure disrespect to Asuka's character, and for her to be on the kickoff show. Because first off, it's like Asuka is better. It's better than this, and is worth so much more. I mean, this is Asuka for God's sakes. I mean, you have if you've seen her in NXT and if you know what she's capable of, you know that she is that you just know that she does not need to be on the kickoff show, and that's what they were originally going to plan to do. And just the thing about this, they're doing this against Zelina Vega. They haven't really built this up as much. It's kind of predictable. They were going to make it Asuka winning over Zelina Vega because that's what happened. And this match was kind of a squash match.
Yeah, it was rushed and quickly. I didn't believe in the chemistry of Asuka and Zelina Vega. She shouldn't have been even. This should not have been a title match. This whole thing was Vince wanted to push Zelina Vega.
Yeah, because they're trying to push Zelina out of the manager position and put her more into a wrestler, and that's what they're trying to go for. But obviously, I don't know if Zelina was ready for a title opportunity because I mean, you got other great wrestlers who are at least they're not going to beat Asuka. They can actually compete against her and make the match more believable. Like we got Peyton Royce and Ruby Riott, but obviously Vince doesn't see potential in them.
Yeah, and this is also bad for Asuka as well, because she was just used to push Zelina Vega, the person who probably will take her title in the future. She is going to be champion because that's what Vince wants, and she has not earned it. Um, is she a good wrestler? I guess so. Yeah. Is she good on mic? Yeah.
For Asuka and Zelina Vega's match, I really didn't think it was all that good. And if you watch the NXT Women's Championships like at Takeover, you always feel that their matches for like for the champion, you can really feel that they are on the verge of losing their championship, and it's actually making the title mean something. But here, you just see Asuka dancing around. She's confident, and even the commentators are saying that, oh, she shouldn't be cocky and stuff. But it's like it just made Zelina look weak.
Yeah. Oscar and Selena. That is not something that should have been there at all. It's just
Yeah,
it. Why is it even there? Like just reading that on the on the card, it's like, come on, you know. Like I know Vince wants to push her and everything, but the match was rushed. It ended quickly. Even the match itself wasn't that good. There were some rough spots because Oscar and Zelina Vega have yet to find their chemistry together. But it was just bad. And the worst part about it is that is that after Oscar won, Oscar praises Selena Vega in the commentary or is praising her and everything like that. It's like she didn't even have a good match.
I
That was
know.
not, yeah, that was not a good match.
I
And
was
and
about to.
they're praising her. They're praising her like she just had a 5-star match of the year performance.
I mean, that's obviously written just to tell the
Yeah,
story, but you can really tell in the character in the performer's eyes like this was not a good match at all, and it was because what did Asuka say? Asuka said that she was a
a firecracker.
firecracker and that she was hard to handle. It's like no, you no, it wasn't. Like you literally, I mean, you're literally here being all cocky. You're taking Asuka down. You made her tap out, and the thing is, even the Asuka lock wasn't even held on right. She was doing it with one hand underneath the throat. Like if you look real quickly, like the Asuka lock was not holding right, and she taps out real quick. And she's not even like she doesn't even try to reach for the rope. She doesn't try everything to resist. She just once she's in that lock, she taps out. Like really?
This makes Selena Vega look bad, and this makes Oscar look bad. And overall, I give this a 0 out of 10. I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
I was not. I wouldn't say like this was a awful match, like horrible I've ever seen. I mean I've seen worse matches than this, but I just give it a two.
I think in terms of story, in terms of everything, it was just bad.
You think so?
Yes.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's. I mean, well, the thing that they also did left was Zelina attacking Asuka after the match, so you can tell that they're going to continue with the story, and that they're not gonna, and that they're not gonna. It's gonna be like a one done thing. They're obviously gonna move it to possibly Hell in the Cell and maybe even expand upon that. But I'm thinking like, why would you extend this story if you already made Zelina look weak? It's like she didn't even really fight all that much. You should just end it right there and go to the next competitor because Asuka obviously swept her ass.
I mean, you know what? Zelina Vega is gonna get pushed to be champion.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the idea. I'm just gonna say this real quick about Asuka. I don't like her title reign. I mean, Asuka, no, she is worthy of a championship, and she deserves to be up there. But the thing is, Vince is really just passing on the time right now because he doesn't have Charlotte or Becky Lynch, and I'm thinking you're standing on a what's it called, a gold mine right now. You got Asuka, you got Peyton, you got Ruby, you got Sasha, you got Shayna Baszler, but yet Vince doesn't see like, well, these are good warriors, and obviously that they're worthy of a championship because he doesn't see any of it in them, and that's just the part that's upsetting. Because as of right now the Raw Women's Championship that doesn't really mean nothing.
Yeah, you're right about that. It hasn't been the same since Becky left. All right, Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews.
Basically, they're doing a storyline where obviously MVP created a team called the Hurt Business that involved Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley himself, and also the new addition, Cedric Alexander, who was friends with Apollo Crews and Ricochet, and uh, Cedric Alexander betrayed them and went to the Hurt Business, and now here we have, uh, have Bobby Lashley as United States Championship. I mean, sorry, forgive me on that. Bobby Lashley is United States Champion, and what's his name? Apollo Crews is trying to get the title back from Bobby. And honestly, I already knew Bobby was going to win. I mean, there was really no chances of Apollo winning. Even if you felt like he was going to win, there wasn't. This match was very predictable. It was like another waste of time. And I did think that Apollo had some good performances in there, because I think Apollo is a good fighter. He's not very good on the mic, but he is very well acrobatic and knows how to give off a wrestling performance, and that was a good thing. But towards the end, you saw it. Bobby Lashley put him in a hold, and he made Apollo Crews tap out, which obviously it just made him look weak. I was expecting more of a pinfall instead of a submission.
Yeah, it was the match. I wasn't familiar. First of all, I'm not familiar with the storyline, but they kept on mentioning Cedric Alexander, and he was never there. He never showed up, and I just felt that was weird. The match itself, it always felt like it was second gear. Bobby Lashley, first of all, he should be aggressive. Apollo Crews is a great wrestler. He's big, tall, agile, fast. He's absolutely fantastic. Having these two go against each other, the match should be better. 4 out of 10.
I give it a 4 out of 10 as well.
All right, the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garcia.
I thought the match was good until the ending. They had some good maneuvers in there. Although Angel Garza, he did injure himself, which has been reportedly that it probably tore a quad. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, and hope that he can make a full recovery on that. But did the referee actually botch the ending?
Yeah, I guess in the match, yes. Angel Garcia was injured, so Garza was injured, so that's how he wanted it to end. The Street Profits were pissed. The guy who pinned him, the big guy, was absolutely upset. I feel like even though it's a botch, I feel like that could end. That could be a storyline into itself, to where the Street Profits go after the ref.
Yeah, you might as well put the referees in the storyline, because they just keep screwing up the whole time. But I actually noticed on the Wrestling News Observer Radio, where they actually said that this is not the first time the refs have been messing up on the 1, 2, 3 count. This is like the third time already. So it's
well, they mentioned that every time someone gets injured, they make the ref look stupid. To end the match.
I mean, is it really worth it? Is it really worth making the referees look stupid, though?
I mean, you could do it once in a while, but not every single time something goes wrong. I mean, you're professionals. Something goes wrong, just go ahead and try to do something.
Yeah, but at least make it look more like a clean match, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, we get stupid referee calls like in the NFL and NBA, but that's different. I mean, in WWE, you're supposed to be professional about this.
Yeah. All I have is this to say: the tag team division is bad. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think nothing good is gonna happen out of this, but yeah, it's just gonna get worse. To be honest, I give this match a 4 out of 10.
I give it a 4 out of 10 as well.
All right, Bayley versus Asuka. First of all, I hate everything about this.
Yeah, you want to take the floor with this one?
Okay, I'll be quick. Okay, first of all, WWE knew about Nikki Cross not competing on Friday, and they still went along with the storyline instead of having a #1 contender match on SmackDown. Or even, first of all, Asuka and Bayley, it was a 2-minute match, and it ended on a DQ, and then Sasha Banks came out, and that's it. And before that, it was a couple minutes of Bayley ranting about, open challenge, oh, no one wants to fight me, okay, raise my hand. And then Asuka comes out. We already saw Asuka. She shouldn't even have a match if it's not even going to be something that's like going to be a great storyline. Like Zelina Vega is not a great storyline. She doesn't deserve Where you want to push her, you don't push her by making her the number one contender.
Contender.
You,
Yeah.
yeah, contender. Yeah, yeah. You make a story of her getting there. And second of all, first of all, whatever. Second, third, fourth. Look, instead of Asuka showing up, Zelina Vega should have showed up, and Asuka should have faced somebody else.
I don't think because I mean Zelina Vega. I mean because think about it this way. Like even before the match started, they had a preview of the WWE draft. So it's like, why would they put Asuka in the match if she is representing Raw and she can't just jump on both she can't just jump on both shows unless Vince McMahon wants to do that apparently. But also you had Lacey Evans. Why not have Lacey come out and give her an opportunity?
Yeah, I still feel like Zelina Vega coming out would have been the best choice. Like you want Zelina Vega to have a title match. That's your opportunity right there. You want to push her. That's the perfect story beat that you could hit. Her proving herself by saying, "Okay, Bayley, I'll challenge you. I'm gonna take forth this opportunity," and Oscar should face someone else.
I honestly thought that if they want to, because I already knew Sasha Banks was gonna come in and attack Bayley. Like that was just so
Yeah, of
predictable.
course. Yeah.
And here comes Michael Cole saying it's boss time, but I'm like, really? It's like if there's one thing I hate about wrestling, this always bothers me, and I will say this if it keeps happening so many damn times. But the one thing I hate about wrestling is predictability. If you already know what it's gonna be like, then it's nothing special, and I really don't. I don't even care to watch about it, but I have to because YouTube channel, podcast, and we gotta review this shit. So yeah, but here is Sasha Banks. I mean, she did a good job with selling the idea that she has an injured neck. I thought that was good. I thought it would have been more dramatic had they had Bayley still compete in a match because we really haven't had a good women's title match in this pay per view at all. And here we are. How about the storyline would have been that Bayley got screwed in the match by losing her championship to whoever it was. That
Zelina,
was
I hope Zelina, yeah, like put Zelina in there and then have Sasha Banks come in and distract Bayley and have Zelina win, and then Bayley and Sasha
and then we
get their
have
feud.
the Sasha Banks and Bayley feud again.
Yeah, and then you have Vince, you have what you want, Zelina Vega as champion.
Yeah, and so it's like everybody's happy, and it's
Yeah,
also an idea that hey, uh, Bayley attacked Sasha Banks first, so it's like hey, you screwed me, and now I'm gonna screw you.
yeah, yeah. That would have been great. Like we just came up with that right now, and that's a lot better than what they came up
That
with.
we actually got on the actual pay per view.
Yeah. All right. By the way, 0 out of 10.
It's
Everything.
zero.
Yeah, everything about this horrible. All right. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
What?
Um,
Wow.
yeah, I loved every moment about this. I think
Are
it
you
was,
really?
yeah, really. I loved
Okay.
everything about this.
Okay, I want to get your side of the story because obviously your opinion on this ambulance match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton was way different from what I got. So
Really.
let me hear your point of view.
Um, first of all, the video package was great. Um, the wrestling was great. The camera angles were actually great. The story was great. Everything about Big Show and then Edge come and then Shawn Michaels. I mean Christian and then Shawn Michaels. I think I may not have the context of it, but I think that was hilarious. And yeah, I loved it. As someone who knows nothing about this, going into this, I thought it was great. Absolutely from beginning to very end. And Drew McIntyre deserves to be a champion. And Randy Orton shows that he's one of the best to ever do it, and that he's just a natural, perfect fit for the heel and for just in his blood, just to be a wrestler.
And don't get me wrong, Drew McIntyre is a worthy champion. He's obviously proved it. We've seen what he can do, and I think it's great that he's champion. But the thing is, when like I've had like I'm gonna say this issue again. What WWE does that is not good is that you never feel that it is a challenge for the champion. You never really
What?
feel a challenge.
Yeah, yeah, I heard you. I think you're wrong.
You think I'm wrong?
Yes, this felt like a challenge. It was brutal, the entire match. It was fun, crazy, chaotic, hectic. Just it was the absolute definition of a ambulance match, and I
Okay,
loved every second of it.
okay, but I'll tell you this though. When I saw Big Show first showed up and he attacked Randy Orton, I already knew what was going to happen. I knew Christian was going to pop up next. I knew Shawn Michaels was going to come up next because this is basically the idea that hey, his past sins were coming back to haunt him. And also, you're thinking like, okay, there's what's it called? There was Big Show, Christian, Shawn Michaels. They all attacked him, and including Drew McIntyre. So that's four people against one. So doesn't that basically make Drew McIntyre looks like that he cannot take on Randy Orton himself?
I think it's bigger than that. I think it just shows that you know you know the if you're a bad guy, you're always gonna your past is gonna come back to bite you. I didn't think about. First of all, I've also heard that the David Meltzer review of Clash of Champions, and I don't agree with what he said or what you're echoing. I think I think people are looking at the negative of this. I think there's a positive of it, but granted, I don't know about the storyline besides the video package. So
Okay. We're gonna continue this story on to Hell in a Cell.
yeah, yeah, and obviously Randy Orton's gonna say something like, "Oh, I'll attack. Let's do this Hell in a Cell where no one could get me," and then Drew's gonna
That's
win again.
yeah, that's pretty much the idea.
Yeah, I liked it. I think you may not like the idea, but I like the execution of it. To be honest, I thought it was great. Granted, I just know about the video package.
I'm just saying this. If it's done right, I get it. If a heel did something in his past and his past comes back to haunt him, then yeah, it's good writing. But at the same time, I also like it when a babyface doesn't have to need help because he's earned that opportunity to beat somebody. Like he can do it on his own without help.
I think they're going in the right direction with this. I thought it was a great execution on every portion of the match, and I'm excited. I'm happy that Drew McIntyre is the champion because he is what a champion should be. Randy Orton is at the top of his game. It was a great match, and they're going to have another great match at Hell in a Cell. 10 out of 10.
Oh, I wouldn't give this a 10 out of 10. I'm just saying that. Like, if it were 10 out of 10, yep, that would. You're basically like saying like you would put it up there like with the Kenny Omega matches or like
No,
Johnny
no, no. For what it
Gargano's.
is, I think it was great. It did its job.
Okay, because I'm like thinking like if you're gonna put it in its own like ranking score, but I'm still gonna treat it like out of every wrestling match in this category, I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. I really don't.
Wow.
I
Fuck you, man.
it's just my personal take on it. I really didn't enjoy it that much.
What the fuck?
Yeah, hey, we're not always gonna agree on the same thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but if we don't agree, I think we would have valid arguments. I think your valid arguments are ridiculous, to be honest. I think this was match of the night.
I honestly didn't think it was match of the night. That's just my take on it. But who knows? Maybe people in the comment section they'll probably see what they think about it.
I mean, you can't argue with stupid, so. Alright, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso.
This is actually the second match I was looking forward to tonight, and they actually did a good promo leading up to it. Cousin versus cousin, and
The whole family dynamic.
here we get videos and pictures of them growing up together and how they're saying like, oh, Roman has always been the top contender and Jey Uso has been the underdog in this situation. And I thought the match was good.
But the match was good, but the storytelling was a billion times better.
Yeah, are you talking about like the times where we get
Yeah,
Mike
yeah, yeah. They were on mic. They were on
and
the
you
hot mic,
hear them
and
talking?
yeah, yeah.
I
Great. Everything great.
Yeah, I thought it was just all good. And really, I don't really got a lot of issues with this match. I mean, because obviously they're not going to give the title to Jay, because that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Roman a top heel. And first off, I just love Roman as a heel now. Like
Same.
this has been some of the best shit that Roman's ever got in so many years.
No, this is the best shit. He's like people have been saying it for years. Turn him heel, and now that he's actually healed, you could tell he's fantastic, fantastic.
Actually,
And
yeah, I'm gonna take that back. Actually, you're right. I can't think of a last time Roman was actually good, and the fact that he's also a Paul Heyman guy. Well, besides that, what do you think about the way how it ended, where you have Roman beating him to a pulp? There were times that Jimmy did fought back. He looked like he was gaining momentum, and he was able to stand it. But then eventually Roman would come back, beat him up, and he would tell him in his like grab him by the head and say, "Tell me I'm the chief" and stuff. Like I am the one.
good. What do I think about it? Uh, Great. I loved it. Um,
Although at times you did hear what some critics were saying, like, "Well, why did the referee stop it?" But I'm here like thinking, well, then again, you hear it. Roman is threatening the referee. He said that I will knock your ass into next week. So I mean, obviously, it made Charles Robinson look like weakling, but then again, I know the referee should have stopped this match, but they're trying to go with the storyline that the referee was scared of Roman.
yeah, yeah,
And then here comes Jimmy coming in. He's obviously still injured, but he's like saying, "I'm gonna throw in the towel. I'm gonna throw in the towel." And you already know that Jay is gonna say no. But
yeah. I thought that was kind of weird, the whole throwing the towel thing, but it's fine. You know, I think it would have been better if um if Jay was like, who was it, Jimmy? If Jimmy was like, I'm gonna go in there and protect you, and Jay's like, no, no, stay back. And at the end, Jimmy fights Roman, barely, and then obviously that causes a DQ, and then that would have been better. The whole throwing the towel thing, um, that wasn't necessary because that came out of nowhere. So better off to say I'm gonna help you and make a DQ to stop the match. That would have been better.
no, this doesn't happen. But it happens once every blue moon because WWE will allow it. They'll just censor it at times. But don't you think it would have been more dramatic had they made Jay bleed?
Yeah, they should have made him bleed.
But you're beating up your own cousin, your own blood. So why not show blood on the mat, show him bleeding to death, and knowing that Roman is going too far
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
or he grabs Jay's blood from his hand after cutting him open, and he looks at it and he says, "My blood," or something like that. You know what I mean? That would have been great.
Yeah, like that was like one of the first things I was thinking about. Like you should have made him bleed, but unfortunately WWE doesn't want to do blood. They do that once in a while when it's only necessary. But I thought that would add so much more tension and even would have made Roman a better heel.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity.
What would you get this match?
Um, 10 out of 10.
I give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, I did think at times there were some matches that were better than expected at Clash of Champions, but really, it was just so predictable. I already knew who was gonna win. Besides the ladder match, that's the thing that I always hate. I don't want to go in and watch a match where I already know who's gonna win. There were times it was boring. They made bad decisions, and really, I just thought that this was just a throwaway. For some parts, it was just a throwaway pay per view. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast. I mean, obviously, this is our first time. We do like in comparison. Usually, they say your first is never your best, but we do hope to get better as we progress.